Hello everybody, welcome back to Crossing Chains. Last time, the crossing indicator, so we just did this, level 26, where we learned that we could cross through the same number so long as it was the same. Where do we go then from here? The crossings indicator shows how many times the chain must be crossed in order to complete it. So crossing is 1. Okay. 1 crossing, 5, 10. So that's 5. Understood. 1 crossing and 11. This might take a while. Good luck. Oh dear. So we have to cross once. And that crossing has to be... It doesn't have to be on 11. That has to be the end. I wish I could draw like a backwards arrow off of the end. So we get to 14 for the second part of the whole thing. God, where do we do the crossover? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, and a -5. We can't dead end ourselves into that corner. Why can't I go through this 11? 11, 12, 13, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I can. I thought it wasn't going to allow me through it. 2 crossings, 7 and a 10 and 2 -7s. The 10 has to be a crossing because that's how we get to here to finish. 6, 12, 18, 24. 14, 20, I don't know how to utilize that math to help. Well, that seemed so hopeful until it wasn't anymore. Okay. Not bad. Well, this just seems about making some very specific decisions, doesn't it? This has to be our ending. So we just have to do this. Can't be anything else. But that's just reading how you have to end and how you can't go through a corner twice. 5 crossings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the 5th one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to finish here. No. So we're going to have to go. All right, well, I got there. I didn't even see the 2 in the corner to help differentiate that, but it was seeing how we had to cut through that corner that made me go out towards the top right first. Knots galore. 4 crossings. And a lot of numbers. Okay, so this is our finish. And there are no set numbers on the grid. There are only the manipulators to our current number. 1 crossing, 2 crossing, 3 crossing, 4 crossing, maybe? Except I think this has to be a crossing to get out, so... that's going to be kind of part of a larger solution, I have to imagine. Okay, well, we can't take a turn there. If I do this now, A, then math doesn't add up. But B, I wouldn't be able to come back through here on that straight. Oh, no. How on earth am I doing all of that and getting down to 2? Because I've been through all the negatives and I can't arrive to here sooner than I already have. That doesn't make any sense to me. I guess I can end like that, or the equivalent of that, so I don't have to go through a number here. It just so happens that I could end up through a number there if I wanted to. This 3 stops me going up there, which is interesting. Let's just see. 5 can't go through -5 because we can't ever get down to 0. It's 1 crossing, 2 crossing, 3 crossing. Right, I'm missing a crossing. And I need to figure out this bottom corner. How could I do this different? Because all of this works so well, it feels like it can't not be part of the solution. It just feels like it must be. Because I'm not going up to start. We already figured that out. I'm not going in there. Now I can't even visualize what I did for a solution that previous go around. There's a crossing here, crossing here. Is it a crossing there and a crossing there? I guess it kind of has to be. That'll do it. 2 crossings, end on 10, but ending on 10 isn't going to matter because ending on 10 is simply the last tile. So the number of this being a 10 doesn't matter to me because we're going to ultimately go through 16 minus 3 minus 5. Just how on earth do we make loops out of this? Because we have to touch all the circles. That's a rule. But we have to have two crossings, and for crossings to exist on the same number, we have to use the negatives to loop back 3 and loop back 5, respectively, for the two crossings. And I can't leave a gap like that. Unless we could make a bigger number. Like, say we had something like this, and then we ended up on the left, and we could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's like two numbers that it could work through. Obviously, this is not a working example of that. I guess there are 6 there. And then what? The other part is just trying to think mechanically on a... Like, pretend this 3 and this minus 5 didn't exist. Minus 3 and minus 5. How could I draw a line on this grid that filled in everything and crossed over twice? Just in any... Like, how could I fill it with it wasn't just straight lines? Seven, 8, 9, 10. So we have to hit all the points. It feels like we don't do the minus 3 first. And I was wrong. Wait. Feels like... No, I don't know. What even are words? Here's a halfway differentiator for the puzzle. Once we go through this, we can't go back on ourselves. So we need 2 crossings, possibly here and here, but possibly not. Is this the same thing we just looked at? 3, 5. 3, 5. It is. But with only 1 crossing on this side of the board this time. But they might not be one here and one there. They might both be in the second half of the puzzle. So that's tricky. But how? Well, we could do that. There's 10. That doesn't get me where I want to be. crushed it. Yeah, they're getting away from the notion that there's going to be one overlap here and one overlap there. Very important. Level 36. When playing with keyboard, press Q or E to quickly jump between chains. Press R to quickly reset the current chain or go to its root. Okay. Probably just going to click, but you know. No crossings. One of our numbers needs to get to 23. This is a second dead end that we must fulfill. How are we going to get the number to 23 for somebody? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28 extra pips in total. So the extra ones need to take up 5. But how do I kill this dead end without making another dead end down here? Because I need to use a lot of the space to get to 23. Yeah, I was just thinking about how things didn't have to make dead ends if I didn't make more dead ends for there to be first. I don't know, my vocal thought process here is not currently in line with my intuition. 0 crossings, level 38. 13, 18, 19, plus 2, plus 6. Can't make 2 dead ends. Where to even begin here? $14, $15, $16, $17. We can't get this 13 and this 18, I think, to be under the same line. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We could that way. This makes 2 dead ends, which I simply cannot tolerate. And now there's not a second dead end, but the 6 is way too far away from the 19. But I like this little group here. I just can't do these two in trade for those two without them picking up the +6 as well. And now that makes a dead end over here. That again, I cannot tolerate. I'm very intolerant to dead ends. Don't know if you knew that about me. Oh, so close. So close. How can I squeeze out those 2 extra circles out of this? It's a great question. God, it looks so perfect as well. This has the dead end problem here. I can't even remember how I got there in the first place now. That way. Ah, Minecraft villager noises. There's only 75 puzzles total, so we're what, exactly halfway? Yeah, because if that's a 5x5 grid, that's a 5x5 grid. We are exactly halfway through the game on this puzzle, although obviously the back end of the puzzles are going to be harder than the front end of the puzzles. But numerically by puzzle, we're halfway. Not that. It's not that. That's interesting. That's a very interesting development. How? Simple. No, 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 no. Thank you. Okay, good. Level 39. 3 colors, ending, well, not ending anywhere specifically, but this 15 and this 16 have to be different chains because there's no negatives. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 has to be a different chain because it's too far away from the 5 to be the same. No, it's not. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That does work. But it blocks out all of this stuff, which seems unlikely. Also, this then here becomes very stuck. That allows for that instead. It's fun how they can just overlap each other and break the sequence that they're already in without issue. But this leaves all of that. And that can't escape. So that seems unlikely. How am I going to get everybody out of their respective corners or into respective corners to finish? That's no good. I need one extra for that. Oh, that's such a shame. Also, this guy wasn't ever going to be filled by this, so... Well, it was pretty close. But this line's clearly too long, and one of these lines is obviously then too short. But what I can't do is cut that down to end sooner because I need to hit the 9. And that 16 comes out too soon. The real problem is this tile here sucks. That's interesting. This becomes annoying. We could finish there. That'll do it. Lovely. The hint button is your friend and will never judge you. Well, we've made it this far, so I think it's coming up on the half-hour mark. We'll put that down there and then resume for more puzzles next time on this level 40. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out the game for yourself, it's always linked down in the description. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.